Have you guys seen esports and the E-League?
I don't know if that's sports, but it's great mind savvy.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word that I would go for.
If you don't bring a sweat, I don't consider it a sport.
No, you do.
Watching people play video games isn't like watching people play football. It's like watching people play fantasy football. It is one more step removed from human activity. You understand?
It's video games. It shouldn't be on a sports network. It's video games.
But can it truly be a spectator sport?
It already is. 71 million watched it last year. They reckon it's going to, by 2017, it'll be 145 million people watching it.
They're actually giving college scholarships for video gaming.
You're kidding.
And it's even gone to the point that now the government has acknowledged professional video gamers as athletes.
Same way you'd watch a football match, you can hear the crowd, everyone's cheering the team on, you make friends, these are people you talk to, you play with online. It's all about community, it's being part of something that you're incredibly passionate about.
Running for Though right now, trying to establish vision control and force ambition! Ambition steals the Elder Dragon! He enters away to the lives! This is a 4-drake Elder Dragon! He lives! Ambition saves the game once again!
I gotta get that one right.
I was okay, I mean, I was really, really good, and then you had to say that. Okay. I think until we reach 100th episode, we're never going to get there, right? But anyway, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Popcorn's Just Langgar show. Now, we are streaming live on Facebook, second time this week on YouTube, and also LinkedIn. Where are we on LinkedIn? I mean, is it my
on your
LinkedIn?
profile? Actually, on your personal LinkedIn, right?
Okay, so we're testing it out. Hopefully it works out. Okay. So how is everybody doing? Speaking of everybody, who do we have in the house? I think Khalid Gibran says hello just now.
Hello, yes.
Yes. Anybody else that we're seeing in the house? Say hi.
Not yet. Say hi. I think they're coming in.
Okay, so everybody's like a bit shy. I'll comment. So if you're in the house, okay, anyway, if you've just joined us, this is your first time ever at a PopCon Just Langgar show. Now, our style is very, very simple and very organic. So if you have any comments, you have anything you want to share, or if you are from the esports community, you have something to say, just type it out in the comment section, and we'll let Ellen, the speaker for today, hear it, or, you know, we'll answer your questions if you have any, right? Okay. Yeah. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for us here at PopCon, the majority of our students and community, we're like, what is esports? We know it's big, but we're not quite sure how it works. And when we at PopCon don't know anything, what do? I mean,
we find someone who can tell us what it is, and we find
who can teach us. Who can teach us about it. And we don't want you guys or us becoming Nokia and becoming obsolete. We need to know what's happening, especially with digital and tech. It's moving so fast. So we get you the guests and we get it covered so that we can get ourselves updated. Okay. So what is esports? How big is it? And most importantly, what can we learn? What can we apply to our business? That's what we're covering up that's what we're going to learn about today. That's what this episode of Just Langgar is all about. So we can have the intro video. Amin?
Okay, let's go.
Popcorn.
All right, welcome back, guys. Popcorners across all social media channels, Facebook group, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I'm Nina.
And I'm Amin from Popcorn.
And welcome to Popcorn's Just Langgar show, where we cover the latest on content creation, social media, entrepreneurship, and tech to help you guys position yourselves as business leaders and industry authorities out there through content creation. Now, in other words, we are on a mission to build Southeast Asia's business influencers. So if this is something that you guys want to know more about, please follow us on all our social media. I mean, can you put our social media links up here? Now, today we're on a quest to get you updated in the world of esports, okay? Now, when it comes to esports and their social media performance, you're probably one of these three groups of people: those who already know how fast the world of esports is growing and want to know how they can use it to apply in their social media and in their business; those who are interested and fascinated with the world of esports and want to know more about how they are raking in fans by the millions and by the minute. They're moving so much faster than the coronavirus, I think. I mean, you know, and those who think esports are meh and will die out in a few years. I don't think there's a lot of those people left anymore because the data is just proving them wrong. So if you are number 3, you're about to miss big time, but don't worry. That's why you're here watching the show, because in today's Just Langgar episode, we're going to be talking about what businesses can learn from esports marketing. Now, before I intro you to the speaker, again, if you have any comments or questions or whatever, please let us know in the comment section and we'll get them answered for you. Okay? Now, today's speaker is an esports evangelist of some sort, I would say. And he's basically the head of esports at AirAsia, where he held multiple roles and esports projects. He's also been invited as a keynote speaker in TEDx talks and conferences in USA, Europe, Middle East, Asia, all of which to talk about esports, I presume. And today he is the regional head of marketing and PR for EVOS Sports. Now, EVOS manages 12 esports teams, over 160 gaming influencers exclusively, and 200 sports talents with a total following of, get this, 64 million YouTube subscribers, 62 million Instagram followers, with over 350 million views per month. For Just Langgar, we want to get 1K, so we're lucky lah. Okay.
I am resigning from Popcorn to do esports. Okay, that's okay.
No. I think we need to start our own esports team, okay? But I'm voting for Candy Crush. I don't think that's going to happen, but you know. So EVOS Sports as well raised a total of 4.4 million in Series A investment to date. So definitely the man to talk to on esports. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Allan Phang.
Hey, okay. Let's bring him in. Right.
Hi. Thank you, Allan, for joining us.
Hi, Nina. Hi, Amin. Thanks for inviting me on your show.
Thank
Just
you
Langgar
so much for
podcast.
joining us. Yes. Okay.
Hope you don't mind me, I Langgar.
Yes, we just Langgar. That's okay. It's casual.
Because that's how we do it. Okay, so again, if you guys have any questions, just write down in the comment sections. We would love to hear from you. So first things first, Allan, can you share a little bit about you and what you do exactly? Because we don't understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you start? Tell us the whole story, but make it quick because you have to leave at 9:30.
Okay, pressure. Okay, hi everyone. Good evening. Welcome on board to the show. Basically, I'm very new to esports also, but I'm learning fast because esports is a fast-moving industry. And now I'm 2 years in, going on my 3rd year in the esports world, 2 years at AirAsia, and now my 1st year at EVOS. I handle regional marketing and PR, public relations for EVOS Esports. So like what Nina mentioned earlier, we manage esports team. Just imagine like your example, Manchester United, Liverpool. So we manage those kind of teams in multiple video games. And on the other side of it, we also manage gaming influencer talents.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of things.
If I were to summarize this, you are like the Jerry Maguire.
You did it in time. Something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
That's okay, right. But if you're Jerry Maguire, do your talents come to you and say, Allan, show me the money?
I know, right? Yeah, nowadays sometimes it happens. Yeah, it happens.
Okay.
Or the other way around. Or we go to them.
Okay.
Yeah. It's getting really
Okay,
big,
cool.
guys.
It's
Yeah.
getting really big,
I-
right? So, okay, if you're saying it's getting really big, and these esports athletes are probably as big as David Beckham and NFL players,
Hmm.
do they get paid a lot? I mean, if I want to
Certainly.
make a lot of money, I mean, if I have kids and I want them to have like a career, lots of
Hmm.
money, right? Because I'm just like Chris Jenner, Mama K, do I tell them to become an esports athlete or an esports influencer?
There's two ways to go about it. Both are fine. Being an esports athlete takes a lot of commitment, dedication. It's not just playing games per se. You have training, you have theory, practical. It's just like example David Beckham on the field. He trains more than he plays for the 90 minutes. So same with
Mhm.
the esports professional athlete. They got to wake up at a certain time, certain training regime, sleep at a certain time, watch their diet, etc. Yeah. Or the other one, as a gaming influencer, they have to be entertaining. They must be able to engage their audience in a way that makes people want to come back and watch them play. So, some of in real life right now, as we speak, there are people who do both ends of the spectrum, or there are esport players who do one end of the spectrum. So it depends really on the personality of the person.
I see. So, okay, so when we talk about esports, let's take one step back. What is esports?
Okay, for those who are new to esports or this word, which was new to me back then also, esports is a term used for electronic video games, competitive games. So sometimes people get mistaken, like we were sharing earlier, between esports and gaming. So esports is a term that is used for competitive video games. Means people play as they are not just for fun, yeah. It's like real life tournament, just like your English Premier League, for example. And on the other hand, gaming is just like casual play, just like example, you go to the football field and play with your friends, kind of thing, and you can do it
Oh, okay.
anytime, all the time. And some people mistaken that, oh, just play games only for 10 hours, 12 hours. That's not esports. That's just playing for fun. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
just
there's
playing for
a
fun.
yeah,
Go
there's a
on, I
big
mean.
distinction then. There's a
Yes.
distinction basically. These are like really professional athletes then. That's what we're talking about, right? Compared
That's
to
right.
so
Casual.
the casual futsal player compared to professional futsal player. That's how we see it.
That's right. And even in
Oh.
esports world right now, you have a professional sports psychologist. Some teams have
Wow.
their own chef to
What?
cook all the healthy meals, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
I can totally see me getting fat if I was an esports player because I mean MC already made me fat. So if
Yeah.
esports, yeah, it makes sense. Okay, hang on. So who would be I mean the ecosystem would be huge, right? Who would be the different players in this whole esports ecosystem? Definitely I see the professional esports athlete like the David Beckhams
Hmm.
of the industry. And then you've also got esports gaming influencers, is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, those are people like you and me who, I guess, create content
Hmm.
while playing game. But I'm
Correct.
not a professional player, I guess. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Amateur. Yeah.
I'm amateur, but they basically get a lot of viewers who
That's right.
watch them play. Okay, and
Totally.
who else are there? And then you've got people like you. You've got the coaches,
You
the
have the
trainers.
coaches, you have the trainers, you have the team managers, the sports psychologists. So this is just the ecosystem for the esports team, right? You
Uh
also
huh.
have other verticals like the esports event organizers, the people behind
Mm-hmm.
the scene that make all the events happen. It's usually about 50 to 100 people. You have the video production crew, the video controller, the sound engineer, the audio visual
Wow.
effects specialist, the graphic
Mm-hmm.
designer, social media
Mm-hmm.
manager, etc.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
And
and also, what about the casters? You call them?
yeah, that's right. Wow,
Yeah, like flavor.
yeah,
Well, we had flavor a couple of weeks ago,
yes, that's
right?
right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Uh,
so Flava does casting. So
mm-hmm,
it's like a shoutcaster, they call it, also known
mm-hmm,
as a host or in a way like a professional MC in a way. So they are the ones who like a in esports world we call them shoutcaster. So in the normal world it's a different term. Yeah,
mm-hmm,
yeah. So and then you got people who are like influencers also, who like go to the event and they promote the event, etc. So there's a lot of verticals around it.
Mhm.
Not
What,
just
where,
the players.
okay, so and then you've got the companies like Eva Sports
Mhm.
who basically manages teams, right? As well as gaming influencers.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. And then what about the companies that are creating the games? They're
Ah,
obviously part of the ecosystem as well, right?
good question. Yes. So those publishers, game creators like Tencent or
Mm-hmm.
Epic Games that create Fortnite,
Mm-hmm.
or you have a lot of these publishers like EA Sports for FIFA, etc. Like Konami. So they develop the game. So in the normal language, we term them as the publisher, game developer, and in a way, not meaning to sound to be crude, but this real life scenario, they're like the god, because they control whether you can play or you don't play. If they don't, if you do a mistake or you cheat in the game, Nina, they get us out.
I'm
You're
out.
out. You're banned for life.
Okay, so basically the world of Ready Player One is already here,
It
right?
is. It's in the PC
Mm.
form, the PS4, PS5, Xbox form, or even the mobile
And
form.
mobile form, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I mean, we need to create our own games so we can be a god.
Yeah, I
Okay.
actually have some stats I want to show. This is quite interesting
Sure.
because I'm like looking at this and I'm like, whoa, this is huge. Esports
Yeah.
revenue for 2020, 1.790 million.
That
That's
is,
huge.
and it went up by 790 from 1 billion
Yeah.
in a way lah. That is
And
huge.
viewers in the United States, esports is number 2, and the only thing that's overcoming them is NFL. That's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's blowing. I was
Where
just
have
like
I been?
y'all. I was
You
just like that,
have
right?
been you have been in popcorn. That's what happened to you.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Okay, so in the words of where have we been, where are we? Is it just starting to grow, or is it a bit too late for people to come in, or whereabouts are we in the curve of this whole esports curve, if there is a curve? you
I
know?
think,
Yeah.
yeah, good question. I think right now we are actually riding the wave. So those of
Uh-huh.
you who are tuning in and want to know about esports, do what like Nina and Amin did. Go to YouTube, Google it. It's just picking up, going to the next level right now, simply because of the pandemic. Everyone's stuck at home. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
can go to live concerts or events. Even all the musicians, all the David Beckhams of the world are also playing games with each other because they're
Yeah.
only form of connection and interaction, entertainment. So we're definitely hitting the curve and riding the wave right now. And it
Mm-hmm.
it has been amplified ever since the pandemic happened. It's just like sweet spot. I mean, nobody wants things to happen that way, but it just kind of like fits in like a glove. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna take a minute to say hello to everybody because we didn't get to say
Sure.
hello to them. Hey, wishing, hello, how you
Hello, Wishing.
doing? Okay, and we've got Jean Paul Gana Pragasam, not Jean Paul Gaultier, but we'll call you Jean Paul as well. We've got Kaya Tree in the house and Abdul Hasim. Hello, everybody. Thank you. And we've got LinkedIn user. I cannot see your name.
I didn't
yeah,
see him.
and Hassan Said. Thank you for joining us today. If you guys have any questions or if you guys have anything to say, just hit the comment section. Now, the industry is bigger than film as well, right? And sports, certain sports as well, right? Not NFL, obviously. I thought it already overtook. I'm just waiting for it to overtake. What is the one thing that most people get wrong, in your opinion, about esports? What is it that people still don't get?
Good question. This is a real life case study when people go to brands and then the brand manager or the marketing person will say, esports, what's that? Playing games? Are you crazy? Are you serious? It's like those kids in the basement playing and then in a dark place and then they're eating pizza. So that's what people, the senior I don't want to offend anyone, the senior generation feels as esports because we were brought up from a generation. Our era was in Malaysia, for example, is through the cyber cafe, right? Some
Mm-hmm.
dark, dodgy place, very, very dark. It's not well lit, and a lot of bad hats there, gangsters, drugs. So when they grow up, 30, 40, 50 years old, they're like, oh, this is a bad thing, bad thing. They're still stuck in that zone. Whereas you go
Mm-hmm.
to the mamak nowadays, you see everyone playing with their phone, example,
Mm-hmm.
this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Horizontal, they're playing a game with their friends while watching a esports content. Times have changed. And because the baby boomers or Gen X were brought up from the traditional sports era, that's their comfort zone. And if they are asked to do something which is out of their comfort zone, they're like, I don't even play the game. Then you have to explain to the boss, etc. So that's the pain point I see right now. But it's closing. The gap is closing, and that's why you got people like me and others out there evangelizing and creating awareness, like what I'm doing here in Popcorn right now.
Okay, you're talking about how awesome the game is. Fantastic. We also have Naomi Matchik who's tuning in from France, right? On
Oh
YouTube.
wow!
Yeah, and
Bonjour.
Rajinder. From France. I would say Beau de Soleil, right? Okay, I would say Rajinder and Naomi who just tuned in would probably be the generation who thinks that, it's related to drugs and stuff like that. So sorry, guys. Okay. So hopefully that's busted. Okay, so I have a question. You used to be with AirAsia and you were sort of doing a lot of esports projects with them. How did you start? You shared a really interesting story. Could you share that again for everybody?
Sure. So I was in Asia for 7 years, and out of the 7 years, I handled esports for about 1.5 years, 2 years plus. And back then, I had no clue what was esports. Right on my fifth year, in 2017, a pilot came up to me, "Hey, Alan, do you know what is esports?" I'm like, what's that? I don't want to know. I don't know. Oh, Tony Fernandez, the owner of the airline, knows about esports. I'm like, okay, nothing to do with me. Don't know. Then the pilot came up again. Alan, do you know Tony Fernandez knows about Twitch? I'm like, what on earth is Twitch? In my vocabulary, Twitch is like twitching your eye, like the rock, Twitch. So I went and Googled, this Twitch, esports, what's all this stuff? It's alien to me. I found out the statistics. Oh, wow. Amazon bought this company called Twitch, which is a live streaming platform for games, for close to $1 billion US back in 2014. I'm like, where have I been? Like, I'm in just now, right? Like, yeah, then I discovered that it's a whole new world out there, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
and
the Aladdin song?
like Aladdin song, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's a challenge in a big corporate company with 20 over thousand employees and senior management. How do you break through all that? So we did a case study which was globally recognized around the world. We kind of work around it. So I spent about 4,000 ringgit, close to $1,000 US, my own personal money, which you cannot claim from the company. I created these esports jerseys. So give it to every C-suite executive, branding, marketing folks at my own cost, which cannot be claimed. And I gave to Tony Fernandez, the owner of the airline. And then next day, his other partner, Dato Kamarudin Morano, the other co-founders, said that, Alan, like, yes, Dato, where's my jersey? I like, what jersey? You gave to Tony yesterday. You give one boss, better give the other boss, right? I'm like, okay. I went to his house, drove to his place, gave it to him, and he found out it's my own money. Then he asked me to claim from the company, but I told him there's no budget for it. He's like, it's
No
okay, Alan.
budget code.
Yeah, no budget code. Corporate, right? Or you have to go
Yeah.
through the process. It's like, no worries, Alan. Claim from my budget. Like, what budget? The executive chairman budget. Like, like, oh wow, I don't have to eat cup noodles for 1 month. 4,000 ringgit is a lot of money, right, for a
Yeah.
normal employee. So they recognize the value, and after that, within 6 months, Asia sponsored a Dota team, an esports team called Mineski. They won champions around the world. And also 3 months later, we sponsored Alibaba's esports tournament in Southeast Asia. And we have our own esports club for employees, just like in any corporate company. You have your futsal club, your badminton club. Why not an esports club? So we did that, and we participated in tournaments around the region, and we do internal tournaments like a team building. It became a global case study.
Wow. You
Because
you guys became a global case study.
yeah, we're invited to share our case study around the world, like you mentioned earlier, those countries, because everyone was like surprised, like how can a big company embrace such a sport per se, right? Digital sport, because most HR and corporate companies will be very conservative, They will say like, hey, don't you guys have to work? Why are you guys playing games? Example, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, if I'm hearing this correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. Backstage there. If I want to get a huge company to kind of start being friendly and kind of embrace esports, I should make them jerseys. and start
There you go.
as a club sukan and rekreasi, right? And then
It works.
slowly do like lawatan sambil belajar or learning trips to all these tournaments and stuff like that. And that's how they
Yeah.
get involved into it. Okay, that is such a good strategy, Ellen. You know,
Yeah,
and I
thanks.
think
Mhm.
and I think you're probably the one who kind of helped start all these sponsorships for other, for all these other brands to come in as well, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
back then when I represent AirAsia, so people kind of like are willing to listen to you, right? More than normal. So I share with them about esports. I evangelize, share with them, talk to brand managers, CEO, C-suite executive, and everyone wants the jersey, right? Because
Yeah.
I
There must be a
out of
very nice jersey.
very
Yeah.
nice,
There must be a
We
very
should
nice
simple
have
but
jersey,
nice.
we should have asked you for a photo so people can see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it has your name behind. So imagine like a football player got Amin or Nina, right? So it's
Mhm.
customized, and people when you give people free stuff, they either throw it around, use as rags, right? But because you have your name
Yeah.
on it, you feel proud, you want to wear it. So I
Yeah.
told them, okay, guys, every day in the office, every Thursday, please wear it. So you have 100 people in the office wearing it. And then imagine you go to the meeting, hey, you got this jersey, where's it from? Oh, it's esports. What's esports? Then you build up the momentum and the
How
awareness.
how how different is the jersey compared to the normal football jersey and all that? Is it the same or just?
Kind of like more interesting is dry fit, and because the logos are all embedded, so
Uh
it's
huh.
imprinted already, so it looks very
Okay.
natural. It's not like just a sticker stick on all those logos. Yeah,
Okay. I have some of the photos that you shared with us earlier. Is this is something that you guys wear, right?
yeah. This
This
is Evolve
this is your
Esports.
own team.
Yeah.
This is our own team. Yeah,
This
Yeah.
our
is not
CEO.
Air Asia's team. This is actually EVOS, right? Since we're
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
correct.
EVOS, can we talk a little bit about what EVOS does and how is it different from Air Asia Days, I would
Ah,
say? Yeah.
so back then, Azure days, I was on the brand side, the client side. So on Evo side, we are more like the esports, like a marketing agency per se. So
Mm-hmm.
we handle activations with brands such as Coca-Cola, Pop Me instant noodles, Lazada, for example, Visa. We just announced last week, and Top Coffee, JT Express, etc. A lot, even with Samsung. So because all these brands realize that, hey, we need to reach the younger generation. If you spend money on a newspaper advertisement, full page, full color, they're not going to go to your 7-Eleven and buy the newspaper. If we advertise on the, no offense to the mainstream media, on RTM, TV3, they're not watching it, right? All live streaming, Netflix, etc. Or if we advertise on a pop-up ad, they're using a pop-up ad blocker. So how do we reach them? What are they doing? And then they look at these market research reports year on year. Oh wow, they are playing games, they're watching esports. That's where the eyeballs are. The millennial and Gen Z, the hard to reach demographics. And
Mm-hmm.
brands realize that even you got BMW, Mercedes, you can Google about it.
Wow.
They're all into esports. Okay, it's not about doing a conversion then, right? Because these are still young generation, but you build brand awareness, brand loyalty, trust. So at such a time when they grow up and they have spending power, disposable income, like, oh yeah, Mercedes, BMW, they support the sport I loved back then. I remember it, top of mind. I'm like, okay, time to get a BMW or Mercedes, for example.
I see. Okay. So it's definitely like the major league game sports basically, right?
Hmm.
That's
Definitely.
right.
Okay. Okay. And this generation is really hard to reach, right? Because I heard that if there's 7 billion population, 2 billion are on games, 2 billion are playing games, and that is a market that everybody wants to get into, right? To reach out to.
Yeah. And then
Mm.
some of the esports tournaments, like example, Dota, the PC
Mm-hmm.
game. Year on year, the prize money is insane. As we speak now, it's went up to 35 over million US dollars. 35 million.
Wait,
Wow.
35 what again? Sorry?
35 million US dollars, the prize money.
What? For how many people to win? It's a group thing, is it?
The group thing, but average, they become instant millionaire lah when you win champion
Oh
or
my goodness.
second place.
Okay.
Just playing
Yeah,
games,
and
right?
I
Wow.
was told that we are quite good at it, right?
Yeah.
Malaysians player are considered one of the
Yes.
best.
Yeah, we always get a
Top
lot of
three.
talents, top 3, top 5. We have a lot of good talents.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing. So do you guys have like you manage professional sports teams, right? What are
Esports
some
teams, yeah.
yeah, esports teams. So what are the games that your people are playing? Your athletes?
So we play games like Mobile Legends.
Mhm.
We actually won world champions last year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and also games like Free Fire and
Mhm.
PUBG Mobile
Mhm.
and League of Legends. So these games might sound alien to some of you who are watching or tuning in, but once you deep dive further, those are quite standard, quite normal.
The ones
I
that I keep
tried
hearing, League of
I tried
Legends.
and download League of Legend, and I tried to play it like earlier. I failed miserably at it.
At least you tried.
It's
I
not.
went down the same route.
It's not easy, you know. That's how I feel.
You
Right?
know, right? When they play the games, right? They're not just playing games, okay? They're doing a lot of things happening in their mind, in the number of clicks per second on their
Uh-huh.
mouse. A lot of things are going on. So a normal person who doesn't understand, they think, just playing game for fun. A lot of things is
Yeah.
happening. It's like playing chess, 5D chess,
Yeah.
if I may say.
I
Wow.
saw a group of people, a group of teenagers who are hanging out in the mama joint, and they were like with their mobile phone and all that. They were doing it, and they're like so into it. Now I'm
Mm.
imagining these are like normal players, right? They're just the gamers. They are not the esports athletes. So I don't know how serious it will be if the gamers are like that. I can't imagine how the athlete is. Is
Yeah,
it?
same like you. I couldn't imagine. And when I went to
Yeah.
in front of the stage, you see them right playing like that. They actually use powder, so cause their hands are all sweaty and nervous, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Use
yeah.
powder, then they hold, yeah. So it's really all out, very serious stuff.
How long is one competition usually? Let's just say, yeah. How do you define a game? Because I
So
know that was,
usually, yeah, it's same like those football kind of format. You got Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, and then
Mhm.
you go to quarterfinal, semi-final, final. Usually, within a span of 2 to 3 days. Usually a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There are a lot of there were a lot of world events that were held in Malaysia itself. Inside in the
Wow.
stadium, in Axiata Arena, in PWTC, and Q City Mall. Big
Mm-hmm.
events, world-class
Wow.
events.
Okay. And we are in terms of world standard, we are Malay Asians or Southeast Asians are pretty good, right?
One of the
We're
best. One of the
one of
best,
the best.
Nina. Yeah.
What do you think is our skills that we have against other countries or Western
Yeah.
countries?
I think it's down to tenacity, and because we want to strive to win, we want to prove ourselves. And I feel that's my personal thought. I feel we are more patriotic, especially in Southeast Asia. Yeah, and we put in more hours and we train harder. That's how I
I
feel.
see. Okay, okay.
What's
Sounds good.
what's what's the average age of these athletes?
Right now, it's average about 20 to 25. Some as old as 28. 28 is old, in the esports world. Yeah, not like football. They become 30 over years old. You can still play kind of thing because the reflexes all slow down, right? Your
Okay.
body and muscle memory. So right now, I believe in the future, it's going to be as young as 15, 16, 17.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So you
Wow.
retire by the time you're 28, I guess.
Maybe. And then you either become a coach
Okay.
or a team manager, etc.
I see. Okay.
Or you
Yeah.
Okay.
become a CEO of a company that manage
You
games.
never know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. I don't know if you managed to share with the audience, but you shared with us that your CEO is actually younger than you.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. Disclosure, I'm 39 years old, right? My
Uh-huh.
CEO is 30 years old. 30 years old, right? And they
Wow.
Wow.
raised Series A, 4.4 million US with four other co-founders, and all of them are average age of 30. And three of them got Forbes 30 under 30 this year for
Wow.
this
Okay.
That's it,
company.
Nina. I'm resigning for popcorn today.
I'd love to support your dream. I mean, but you're too old.
Oh man, it's a different world out there, guys. So
Yeah, you're like almost 20 years older. Cannot come back into popcorn. Sorry.
or
Okay.
popcorn esports, yeah, I never know.
Yeah.
But you know what?
What
Popcorn will start their own esports team. We will probably lose, but
Is it
whatever.
Candy Crush? Candy Crush.
Candy Crush, yeah. We I tell you, we can be good at Candy Crush. Okay, don't mess with us.
So
Okay,
what? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
no,
I'm
because
like,
I'm gonna move on into how esports,
yeah.
what we can
Let's go with
learn,
that.
businesses can
Yeah.
learn. kind of thing. So if you want to ask, you better ask now. Okay. Okay. Before we go there, though, what sort of companies usually get involved with esports? For marketing and stuff like that. Must they be big, or can small companies take part as well?
It depends. Right now, there's two type of brands: non-endemic brands, which is non-IT related brands, and you
Mm-hmm.
got endemic brands, which is IT related. So for
Mm-hmm.
the IT related companies, they are very used to get involved in esports already. For the companies that are not IT related, they are still learning about it. I get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
inquiries on LinkedIn, etc., and they're still at the exploration stage. Of
Okay.
course, yeah.
Do you need a lot of money?
No, not really. It can be
Okay.
a low hanging fruit activation, few thousand ringgit perhaps. You
Okay.
can you do experiential marketing first. It's not like you have to spend a few million straight away, right?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
so usually, what I tell brands, I advise them, example, maybe try, I don't know, 3 to 5% of your annual marketing budget. Just experiment on esports,
Mm-hmm.
because every time when we talk to brands, some of them like, oh, very scared lah, we're scared to enter. We don't know what's this. I don't even play games, Alan. How do I go about it? So I
Mm-hmm.
always advise them, find a gamer inside your company, anyone who plays games, talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
They might be able to provide some tips and tricks on how to
Mm-hmm.
navigate the space.
Okay, sounds fantastic. We should be talking actually. Okay, so now let's get into the main topic is we've got an overview of esports now. So what can businesses learn from esports marketing? First of all, who in the ecosystem is getting this esports marketing right? And how are they getting it right? And what can other businesses in other industry learn from this?
I think the right way to approach it for businesses is, if they want to get involved with the younger generation via esports, is to first, number one, get it right by going to events. I mean, once COVID and all that is over, or go online and mingle with the
Virtual events,
community,
right?
virtual events, go talk to them, find out what's happening. Because that's what I did when I first started. I didn't just like, okay, we're going in blindfolded or what, go in with your eyes open, talk to people, and you realize that this esports community is one of a kind. It's not a corporate kind. If you want to do corporate way, don't do esports. That's what people share with me also, because these people like the yo generation, the YOLO generation. So you need to be
Yeah.
authentic. You cannot
Mm,
be so corporate. Your messaging, if you do marketing, you cannot like too formal. They're like, what is this? So
right.
you need to like integrate and gel in with them. You need to gel. So that's one. Get to know the community first, and start
Mm-hmm.
with low hanging fruit. Don't go
Mm-hmm.
and like announce some big time activation, and then if it falls flat on your face, then it's going to go viral for the wrong reason. So start small, and then you get bigger and more confident, and at least there's a track record to show back to management as well, your KPIs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But in terms of how you guys are marketing in esports and connecting to the younger audience, what can we learn from it? Because
Right. So,
it's growing so fast. How on earth are you guys doing it?
man, so like for EVOS Esports, we actually have 100 over employees. Majority of them
Oh.
based in Indonesia, and we
Mm-hmm.
have also employees based in Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all about content in the esports world. You have the players playing the game and all that, but someone needs
Mm-hmm.
to cut cut the content, edit the videos, put in all the memes,
Mm-hmm.
right? MEME, yeah, the kind of thing. So the fans love stuff like that. So it's all
Mm-hmm.
about content, and sometimes in the esports world, if you just keep playing games, the fans might get exhausted. Content exhaustion from
Mm-hmm.
just playing games. So you need to do different formats like do like a talk show, do a fun series. A lot of different other like the game show kind of stuff, for example, entertainment.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Uh,
That makes a lot of sense because what we talk to our community as well is stop trying to sell things. It's about
mm,
content. It's about giving value to the audience, right? And the
yeah.
community, yeah, and engaging in things that they love, right? And I think that's something definitely we can learn. And of course, it's about re-editing whatever footage you have. And I love that point where you made where there's content exhaustion,
Yeah.
so there's different types of things to jazz it up and make it interesting, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Anything else that you guys are doing that we can learn from? I mean, that you can think of at the top of your head?
sure. I feel like brands also need to. You're going to people's world, so you need to be able to talk the talk and walk the walk. So in their language, it's called like, I don't know. Have you guys heard of GLHF, GGWP,
No,
GG?
no,
Have
no,
you heard
no,
of
no. Do educate us. I think we need one session just for that.
yeah. So GG is a good game, right?
Good
Means
game.
like
Okay.
they say they're playing, very
Oh,
stressed, tension. They're like, oh, lost already, GG. So they type GG. Because you
Oh,
want to type good game or you want to say good game, it's a long time. So they just
yeah.
like GG. And then
Mhm.
GLHF is good luck, have fun, you know.
Okay.
And then
oh,
and the last one is GGWP, good game, well played. Stuff like that, you know.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, in trainings we say good job.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now
yeah.
we need to change it to GG. And we,
Yeah,
we also have like samurai game. I mean, remember when our opponents win and it was such a good fight? There you go. "Ooh,
yeah.
good fight." But so now it's GG. Okay, got it.
yeah.
Okay. Now we've got a question from Nick Faisal.
Ah,
He's saying, Alan, can esports content or games be used for corporate team building? I think that's fantastic. I mean, this is something we can think of.
I think
that's
can.
a valid question, Nick
Mhm.
Faisal Hanafi. Basically, esports or games can be used for corporate team building if and when the audience kind of understands on how to play the game in particular. For example, if everyone can play a game like Candy Crush, then okay lah, no problem. But if they're like, wow, so like, I mean, you're trying to play League of Legends, you're also like scratching head already, right? So if you don't even know how to play it, it's going to be difficult, a bit a challenge. So depending, can be done. It's just the context and nature of whether the participant knows how to move around the objects or the game itself.
Okay. So
I think it's
basically,
very
they need
possible.
to know the game, and it is possible.
Yeah, because in
Yeah.
a game, right? Just to share in context, you have like different positions, right? Defender, the goalkeeper, the
Mm.
striker. So it's all about teamwork, communication. So definitely possible.
Okay, got it. We also have Facebook user, which is Roy Tan. This one I think is a bit of a question for you because I don't get it. Why Asia CS:GO teams are so little? What does that
Okay,
mean?
so okay, what he's trying to say is there's a type of game called CS:GO, which is called Counter Strike Go. It's a
Oh.
shooting game. It's a first-person shooter game, a PC game. Why are there so little teams in this part of the
Mm-hmm.
world?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is simply because right now in Southeast Asia and Asia, majority of the next generation of esport athletes and gamers are mostly on their mobile phone. They're playing on a phone, not so much on a PC. Not everyone can afford a PC or PlayStation or Xbox per se. So that's the answer. Yeah.
Ah,
So
okay. Can we
that's a
talk a little
diplomatic
bit?
answer. That's a
What,
diplomatic
Oh no.
what's the
answer. Roy,
what's the undiplomatic answer? I mean.
The
Roy, you are like me. You are old.
Okay, good one, Amit.
yeah.
Okay, but
That's it.
let's talk a little bit about this. It's the games played in the West and in Asia, they're kind of different, right? It's because
That's
of
right.
our consumption habit. Could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my personal experience when I went to the US, Europe, oh, Alan, esports is about League of Legends, Fortnite, Overwatch. These are PC games. You need a personal computer to play, worth 3 to 5,000 ringgit. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay. I say, oh, over in Southeast Asia is mobile phone games. They're like, what, really? Yeah. So because in Southeast Asia and Malaysia is a mobile first country, and we are in this era, so people, the digital natives, the Gen Zs and all that, they're brought up with the phone, right? So
Mm,
and it's everyone has a phone. It's easy to play. It's highly accessible. Barrier to entry is low. So the game developers are smart. Are like, okay, I better like focus on the phone games. So that's why you got Mobile Legends, PUBG Mobile, Free Fire, all these games booming around here. Yeah.
mm,
And important part for marketing for brands and etc. and companies is about localization.
mm-hmm.
So if you go to Thailand, your content and branding better be in Thai language and vice versa.
Okay, that's a very, very good point as well. Like you need to know the market in order to get in to market it really well. It's localization, right? The worst thing you can do is apply something in the US and apply
Uh,
it here when it's like a
uh,
complete miss.
uh.
Thank you. Yep. Okay. So we answered Roy's question. Farmi is saying, "What up, Allan?
Yo,
Been a
what up? What
while."
up? Been
Yeah.
a while,
Yeah.
Fami.
Farmi sounds familiar. I think I know you. You're probably my friend on LinkedIn. If not, I'll friend you. Okay.
Very
Thamendran
bluff.
Sukumaran is asking, "Is that gamification and esport concept is similar?"
Yes and no, not really. Gamification is more like you win rewards, let's say throughout the journey, the life cycle of the employee or customer, for example. Let's say you go to a shop and you earn points for buying certain food. That's gamification. Esports is really like watching your English Premier League, your cricket, your basketball, NBA. Yeah, so NBA is not gamification, but maybe doing a game that revolves around a customer journey, buying your product, that's gamification.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. In fact,
watching it can be quite addictive, yeah. Because I'm actually following some of this esports tournament, and I can just stay there for a while. I just got hooked to it, and I said, you know what, I can spend an hour just watching. It's very interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Okay, there's another question by Hassan Sai. Allan, what will be the spillover impact of the industry, you think?
That's a good question. So now you see all the universities and colleges, they're really like focusing on esports, very interesting because I even spoke to some in New York, etc. Like, hey, professor so and so, how come your uni is getting involved in esports? Then he shares with me, Allan, if we don't get involved in esports, the next uni across the road is doing it, and all our potential clients are going over there. So we better do one as well. So that's why a lot of unis around the world are having like esports programs. Even Malaysia, like in APU, they also have one going on, and some other courses like FSA esports event management. So it's like the gig economy lah per se. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And I think it's becoming so mainstream that some universities are giving scholarships as well, like athlete scholarships, right? In the US especially. That's what I
that's
heard.
right.
It's exactly like a sports industry, but it's just that everything is online. And that's how I see it.
So it's prime for MCO.
Exactly. Yeah. Now I'm curious. How was the esports industry doing MCO though?
Yeah. How was it impacted?
Was it impacted, or is it just like getting more and more people going into it? Allan, are you still there? Allan just froze.
I think we lost him. Okay, hang on. Let me see. Okay, he's coming back on, I think.
I'm great. Yep, he's back.
Yay! Okay. Temporary glitch in the matrix. Okay, I mean, what was your question again? We lost him again. Okay.
That happens in Jatanga. Sometimes it happens after, but yeah, he's trying to come back. I saw him again. I'm getting him back.
There you go. Are you like trying to play hide and seek? Is this one of your? This is one of your esports, strategy. Come in, come out.
Maybe.
Okay, cool. I mean, your question was?
I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot.
Hassan, you have a very good question, but I'm not going to answer it because it's one of my questions later. So we'll answer that later. Now, is there anything that's happening in esports that businesses should not follow?
Okay. So there are some case studies. I won't mention names, but this what happened, all right? So they do what they're not supposed to do lah. They went and say like, oh wow, we're coming to esports. We're going to spend like X amount, like make it sound so sexy, right? Or the bells and whistles. But then when they did it, it was the opposite. They're like, hey. So the esports community is like, at first like, yeah, this brand is coming in, brand X is coming in. But then when they execute it, it's just like 5 or 10% of what they're supposed to do. So the community like got angry lah. They're like, hey, what's this, man? Boo, very bad. Viral. Yeah.
Oh,
so that's why I say,
okay.
come in slow, come in small, start small, and build up the momentum. Don't just come in like, oh, here's the money, take it and mess it up, right? Yeah.
What was the big thing that they did wrong in that instance?
They did a hype video making it look like, wow, it's a grand scale. We're coming into esports, it's going to be big time. We're going to spend it looks like they're going to spend a few million, right?
Okay.
But when the actual announcement came out after all the climax and all that, then it's like, oh, we're only doing like a few thousand kind of activation. So what is going
Photo
on here?
team lah.
Yeah. So imagine you announce to the world like, oh, we're gonna get a David Beckham. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We supporters, we all very all hyped up. But then you only get some random ABC person, nobody heard of them. So like, hey, what's going on, man? They
I
feel scam lah.
see.
They feel scam.
Okay, I
Yeah.
got it. So
Did you?
basically, it's very community based, and you don't want
Very.
to very community, very fan based, and you don't want to mess with it. You don't want to piss them off, right?
Yeah, you don't piss
Yeah.
them off, and you don't want to say the wrong thing at the wrong time because some people get it mistaken that, oh, I sponsor or get involved in the game, I get involved in esports overall. It's not an overarching thing because esports there's different games and different types, right? So example, if you get involved in basketball, that's just basketball. Esports world there's a lot of different various games. There's a 5 versus 5 game, there's a 1 versus 1 game. So different games got different ways of communicating. So if you use Dota language to a League of Legends fan, they get angry. It's like a Manchester United
Oh.
Liverpool thing, Yeah.
Wow.
So you don't go to Manchester United fans and say Chelsea, Chelsea. They're like, hey.
You don't add fire to the wound
Oh,
or
no.
something like that lah. Okay, got it.
That
got it,
is
got it.
that is gali lubang kubur sendiri. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
Sometimes
dig
happen.
your grave lah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is competition, price pools, everything?
Yes and no. In the esports world, majority of it, 80 or 90%, if I may say, usually goes to the player, and 10 or 20% goes to the organization, the team organization, and some of the players, majority of them get their actual revenue either through sponsorship from the brands or through the live streaming platforms like Facebook, YouTube, pays them quite a handsome salary, anywhere ranging from like 5,000 ringgit to 30,000 ringgit to 50,000 ringgit a month. It's a lot.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, I just want to be a streamer, just play game only. And then
Yeah
on
lah.
top of that, you get extra additional revenue from the fans who donate stars, right? Facebook stars, for example, on Twitch, they do donations. And I mean, I like you. Here's it's worth 1,000 ringgit worth of stars. Whew. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Just because
Okay,
I
I'm
like
gonna try.
you.
I'm gonna stream my Asphalt 9.
Okay. I mean, you gotta try. At least try and be an influencer lah. You can be the pakcik
try,
tua
right?
streaming game. Are there old people streaming and playing game and
Oh yeah,
yeah, are
there are some
they
like
doing well?
grandma. There's some grandma, grandfather teams. But very rare lah, not so many. I mean, there are one or two around the
We can
world.
start a grandmother, grandfather team. I mean,
You can start
You
a
know,
Gen X
grandmother.
or baby boomer.
yeah,
Yeah,
baby boomer team.
the Gen X League, just for the Gen X.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
POPCON will start it. Okay, now if you want to, we don't have that much time. We only have 5 minutes, but I want to try and get as many questions as possible from you. If you guys want to reach out to a lot of people, what's the best way to go about it? How are people? How is the industry doing it?
Sorry, for example.
For example, if you have an event and you want to reach out to as many people as possible, what's the best way to go about it?
Depends on the platforms that the communities are based in. So for like example, Malaysia, most of them are based in Facebook. So you just need to go online, search for esports community groups in Malaysia, and they're all there. Yeah.
I see. Okay, so you reach out through the community lah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's right.
So this is basically content marketing and community marketing at its best.
Yeah, right to the
Okay.
core.
Yes. Okay. Now, what are is there any of the cleverest thing that an esports brand or personality has done that you think it's so good, it's so clever?
There's a lot actually. It's about doing things at the right time. So if there's some viral thing going on in the country and they capitalize on it, and all the fans will just follow, Yeah.
Okay, so viral things also matter. Whatever is happening.
So for example, when we are handling the Asia esports team, so we got a logo. For example, your Manchester United logo, right? So you use it as your profile, your new logo. You just revamp. You put it as your profile photo on your page, and then you tell all the fans change your profile photo to Manchester United logo, and then everyone change. So everyone changed to our Asia new esports logo. And imagine, Nina, your face is no longer your profile photo; is the team's logo. And people do that. It went viral.
Wow, that's amazing.
Free marketing.
Yeah. Okay. That's so clever. But of course, that makes sense if you have a huge and very strong community, right?
That's right.
Otherwise, it backfires. You're right. Okay.
I'm curious to
Never
know
know.
how big is the community in Malaysia?
Few hundred thousands, depending on which games. Some are more than others, some are less than others.
Which is the biggest
So
one? League of
what's the
For
Legends.
biggest?
Malaysia, okay, so for
Ah,
Malaysia is PUBG Mobile and Mobile Legends. These are the two biggest titles right now.
mhm,
For PC, Dota is still very predominantly quite strong.
mhm.
League of Legends is okay, not too bad. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Where do you think this is also Hassan's question? Where do you think the future of esports will go? Where do you see the opportunities for brands and marketing? And Hassan's
Mm.
question is, how do you see esport evolve in the future? Will it be hybrid, online, physical, like Ready Player One?
So for brands, you can see like what Domino's Pizza did with EVOS. So they activated it, like example, Hari Raya Puasa campaign. So during the Buka Puasa time, breaking our fast, our esports players, they eat Domino's Pizza online like this and chatting with
Oh.
the fans in the online chat room.
Mhm.
So stuff like that is very exciting because there's direct brand integration.
Mm,
Excuse me. Then you can put your QR code or your URL link. Click here to buy pizzas.
okay, that is so good.
Wow.
Anything? Do you see that we're gonna be Ready Player One anytime soon in terms of future of esports?
Not so soon, but definitely you got 5G coming in. I guess when VR becomes more mainstream and low barrier to entry,
Mm-hmm. It will be,
definitely.
right? Yeah. I think they're working on it with all the glasses coming. We had somebody talking about VR and AR earlier. Yeah. Okay, moving forward, what are your plans, Allan Phang and EVOS?
Right now, we partner with Lazada, Visa, and even in Malaysia with Domino's Pizza, etc. So partnering with more brands and educating the market, and hopefully to help bring esports to the next level.
Okay, sounds fantastic. There's one more question from Hassan. If just like physical sport, you need specialist doctor. What kind of specialist doctor does an e-sport athlete need? I'm
At the
curious about
moment,
that as well.
Mm.
uh, more into the mental part, sports psychologists, because it's still a very new nascent industry, and
Mm-hmm.
not enough sports psychologists for the esports demand, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe those are carpal tunnel syndrome kind of thing.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Like playing
Ah.
too much kind of thing, right? Okay, got it. How bad is do you need, what's the biggest challenge with the psychology part of it? Is it stress or how?
Yeah, definitely stress because these are young players and they are not exposed to the pressure. You're playing for thousands or sometimes millions, right? And you're
Wow.
there with your fingers, you're sweating cold sweat, and you have to communicate with your teammates. Sometimes you get panic. Instead of
Mm,
saying left or right, you say right become left, left become right.
oh my God. Yeah, okay.
Pressure.
I don't think it's just that. I think there's also the pressure from the
Also,
parents and all that, maybe.
Parents,
maybe,
the
yeah.
country,
Yeah.
the spectators all looking at you or the
The
eyeballs.
agencies, the agents, everything, the fans, kind of thing. So it
Yeah.
can be, and they're young. They're only just learning how to communicate and work in a team. So all
Yeah.
that is happening at the same time. That would be huge, huge pressure. I mean, I would think, yeah. Okay, can we do rapid fire questions with you, Ellen? Okay. What are three things a business can immediately implement and learn from esports?
Authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
being authentic, um, to do low hanging fruit activations first,
Okay.
and to integrate with the community in their language.
Wow. Okay. Love it. That's so awesome. And what do you think is the number one secret why esports is growing so fast that we can apply in other industries? What is this one secret that only you guys know and nobody else does?
Uh, you need to connect with the community and the fans. That's it. You need to go to where they are.
Hmm. Okay, that's such a good answer. And if you had one advice to give someone out there with respect to marketing for their business or getting involved in the esports marketing, what would it be? Only one.
Don't just rely on Google News or YouTube. Go and talk to the real guys involved in the scene on ground. Talk to as many people.
Okay. Because it's still so new, right? And to get a taste
Still
of
so
people.
new. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds so good. Talk to Alan, basically. Hit him a
Yeah.
LinkedIn message. Okay. Thank you, Allan.
Yes, thank you so much, Allan.
Yeah, that was
I
so
actually,
good.
I actually have a lot more questions, but I have to stop myself because I know that we only have like 1 hour flat,
It's
right?
okay. We
Yeah,
can call it.
I would love to have another conversation with you. Somehow we'll figure out a way, lah.
Okay,
Sure.
got it.
Thanks, Nina.
All right, thank you
Thanks.
so much. Yeah.
Just
Thank you so
Langga
much.
podcast for having me and everyone
All right.
watching in.
Thank you so much.
Right, we'll see you
Okay.
again. Thank you so much, Allan.
We're gonna
you.
continue, but thank you so much,
Good luck.
Allan.
Have
We'll
fun.
catch up with you. Thank
Enjoy your
you.
chef. Bye.
Yep. Okay.
Enjoy your night. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. But if I were to summarize today's talk, it would be it's about connecting to your community and to your fans, finding out, speaking their lingo, find out what's important for them, and then you can win over their hearts. What about you, Amin?
Damn, I'm in the wrong business.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah.
It sounds good.
So
Sounds good. Yes.
that's such a insightful session. Hopefully you guys will be able to use that immediately in your business.
But actually,
Well,
there's one lessons I got from this one is that things are changing really
Yes.
fast.
Uh-huh.
It's just super rapid fast. If we take a look at the stats itself, who
Yes.
would expect that esport is going to be a thing? I mean,
I did. Sorry, no, but then again, I was in MDEC. I was looking at games, and I kind of knew they
Yeah.
were huge, and I knew it was huge kind of thing.
That was your department. Okay, that's cheating. Cannot. That's your job. That's
Well, even with data, because I was looking at film, the data for the fans and the cost of all these films and all these games and how much people were making is huge kind of thing. Yep. There's a question by Tamindran: is that true? Gambling and betting become more worse under esport? Is there any rule to prevent this? I think there might be a distinction. Esports is about playing games. Games online kind of thing. So I'm not sure about the gambling.
Okay, let me go with this. Let me go with this.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just like football and all that, you have people that will be doing side bets and all that, right?
Okay.
So it's just like normal sports. I think the rule still applies. It's the same thing with everything, right?
The question he's asking is, it's become worse under esport. I would not know.
I would not know. Maybe we'll get Allan back again. We'll ask him that question in the future.
Yeah, okay. But I would say that usually the people who does all the gambling and betting is usually it's another party, right? It's not the main party kind of thing.
Yeah,
usually,
it's not the main.
right?
It's not the main one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What we can learn from esports marketing. Now let's in the meantime, we've got a lot of things happening in the POPCONverse. What is happening? I mean, I heard that's a class,
Okay,
right?
so this is the list of people that will be having more interviews coming up in the next few weeks, right?
Okay,
So
we've got
Ash
can we
Wallen
look at
coming
all-
up.
Yeah, can we see?
Okay,
the
but
details?
let's go with weekly first. So this Monday, we have a session. This is a free session where we are featuring our student to basically run their own session. So Ranuka will be coming in to talk about understanding your perception and positioning, right? If
What's
you
this about?
want to basically what we do in this session is that we are basically featuring our graduates, right? And we have like a monthly session where we have a 1 hour session where our graduates will be talking about bite sizes information. So you will learn something from our graduates. That's what I wanted to do, right?
Okay, but what is this particular episode about?
You will learn about how you can basically position your perception, right? How people perceive you. And I think the best person to do this is Ranuka. More information about this in the link. I'll share the link afterwards.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, and next, what do we have?
We have the free profile, LinkedIn profile assessment coming up. This is like twice a month, right?
Okay, and this one, if you guys, basically this one is, if you think, this is the only one this month, because I don't think we have another one after this for this month. We just finished one. If you guys want to know if your LinkedIn profile is great or it sucks, fill in the assessment, and we're going to give you like a free assessment and debrief session to share with you why it's great and why it's not so great and how to improve it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Next, we also have,
Ash Wallen coming up next week.
Ash Williams coming up Thursday next week. This is the age of personal branding, guys. If you're not doing your personal branding right, you're seriously going to miss out. And he's actually going to cover why visibility is more important than ability itself. Yes, those day is here. So next, what do we have?
We have the Killer All Starting a profile, so twice a month.
This is for you guys who, if you want your LinkedIn profile to look like the best, the most epic one, then this is the class to go. It's one of the most intensive classes out there, and we're giving it away at 60% off at 99 ringgit. So please sign up. We'll send you the link in the comment section later, and we also have 2 more slots.
We have
right?
One Hazmi coming up.
Wan Hazmi is basically a legend in Malaysia. He's launched his own game. He was basically the lead game designer for Final Fantasy. He's in charge of building the culture in Final Fantasy 15, if I'm not mistaken. And he's come back to Malaysia about 2 years ago, started his own company and developed his own game. And it was just launched last month, despite COVID. And he's going to share with us how marketing our culture to the world in the video game of business, and how we can stand apart from other countries by focusing and basically sharing our culture. Isn't that amazing?
Yep.
Okay.
Looking forward to this one as well. All right. And then the next one we have.
And of course, we've got Yasmin. We're talking about how you can sell remotely. Discover the top 3 skills you need to sell remotely. Okay, so this should be epic as well. She's also a podcaster.
Yeah. So
okay.
Fill up. We already fill up the whole entire month with a lot of activities.
Okay.
So
you know where to find us?
Yeah, you know where to find us. We are in Facebook, we are in LinkedIn, we are in YouTube, right? Basically, guys, just follow us there. You'll get a lot of updates and information about all the upcoming.
If you found today's episode very useful, please tag your friends, share it with people, and let us know what kind of topics or who we should interview and what sort of topics, so we can help serve you guys better. Sounds good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you so much. We hope to see you guys soon. I'm Nina signing off.
And I'm Amin signing off. We'll see you again.
You have POPCON.
All right. And see you again, guys. Bye.
Bye.